So from basically East Town Road here on the west side of town, you go east of there, right through the heart of Lima, we had a heavy downpour with 1 inch plus of rain that fell in about a 30-minute span. In fact, we had some flooding. This was the Metcalf Underpass, an area that often floods there near the refinery. And again, just a reminder, this is an engine that's stalled. A reminder to not drive over that flooded roadway because you don't know, you can't gauge just how deep that water is. The story is now turning to the heat, as that will be the main weather headline for us today. I want to show you some pictures last night, though. Boy, the lightning was just vivid, and it was very continuous with that storm. This was around 11:30 last night in Lima. This was a Tammy Nichols out of the Lafayette area. You can see a large branch of a tree that came down there. Also, look at all the water standing from all the rain. Also had this picture sent in out of Ada. Look at these branches just littering the road, making it very hard to drive last night. And certainly you may encounter some of that on your drive to work this morning. Our radar and satellite showing very quiet weather locally. We do have some active weather south and west of here. Some hefty thunderstorms occurring from southern parts of Illinois down through parts of western Kentucky. We see this training shower and thunderstorm activity. You don't like to see training storms like this because this leads to a lot of rain over a localized area, and we've already had in some places over 8 inches of rain in parts of western Kentucky since yesterday afternoon. So it's just feast or famine, right? You know, around here we could really use some rain. We've got a chance tomorrow, but that rain chance may come with a price in the form of some severe weather. We'll look at that here in just a moment. But let's start off with the good news. The weather this morning, it is looking spectacular. Be sure to grab the sunglasses heading out the door. Skies are mostly sunny, 62 Lima. We are starting off a bit cooler, north and west, 59 in Van Wert, 57 in Defiance. Temperatures at 66 degrees in the Bell Fountain area. So today's forecast goes like this. We'll see lots of sunshine. We have a really nice summer day on the way, 78 degrees by noon. We will warm up this afternoon, lower to mid 80s. Skies remain mostly sunny. Hardly any wind today. The winds are very light, around 3 to 5 miles an hour, and that's it. So just a very quiet, calm weather day on the way. We'll see highs today, topping out at 84 for Lima, and we'll see a high of 82 for Sydney. Around 86 degrees for Ottawa and Deschler. Lows tonight a little bit warmer than this morning because we'll have a little bit more humidity, a few more clouds working in as well. Lows fall to around 66 degrees. Tomorrow our high comes in around the mid 80s. We will look at, though, the chance of storms on our Thursday. So tomorrow we have a level 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. The primary threat with tomorrow's storms will be damaging wind. This is going to be really a cold front that's coming through. That's going to trigger the chance of showers and storms. So let's start off here early tomorrow. I think the morning hours of Thursday are relatively quiet. There could be an isolated shower, but by and large, it's the afternoon tomorrow that we're going to watch for the chance of storms. We start off with temperatures tomorrow morning, again, quite warm. We'll see a little bit of sunshine throughout the morning. As we head through the afternoon, we'll continue to see numbers climb. I think our forecast model likely a little bit overdone on those highs, but we will begin to see the chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. It looks like right now in that 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. window, it looks like our best chance to get these scattered showers and storms. And I say scattered because it's not going to be one wall of storms that hits everyone, but there will be storms just kind of scattered all across the area, dotted on the radar. So again, at least a chance of rain, but again, it could come with some severe weather as well. Wind is our primary concern. Once we get past about 8 o'clock or so, things will start to wind down, and we'll see improvements as we head into Thursday night. Moving ahead into the weekend forecast, right now it looks like a lot of sunshine, stray shower, thunderstorm risk as we head from Saturday and Sunday. But right now the weekend looks pretty good for this time of year. Here's your 7-day outlook. So the storms tomorrow will give way to a much cooler forecast on Friday and a lot less humidity. So I would say Friday is going to be the most pleasant day we have over the next 7. So again, the weekend looks mainly dry, and we'll see temperatures gradually climb next week. The line is actually showing some signs of weakening, which is some good news. But again, we do want you to still be aware of the possibility of some localized damaging winds as this pushes through. You can see here, this is one of the ODOT cameras at State Route 309, Elida Road at East Town Road. We do see some puddles and very heavy rainfall. And again, the possibility of those strong winds. Again, this is the run of it right now, pushing through Lima, and we have good news as this pushes through. Again, this is going to really take the juice out of the atmosphere. I'm going to stop the radar animation and show you where this is heading. Again, for areas to the east, like Ada, where you're not seeing the storms just yet. Let's put a track on this for you. Coming into, again, Bluffton around 240, around Findlay there at 249. It looks like around Kitten just before 3 o'clock. You're going to see this come through. So something to keep in mind, of course, for school dismissals there. And then just after 3 o'clock for the Bell Fountain area. Again, this line pushing east around 60 miles per hour with the possibility of some gusty winds. You can see on our forecast model showing as the line pushes through. Again, we'll see a lot of that severe weather threat shift east with some additional showers possible into the early evening. While tornadoes tend to grab all the headlines, especially on YouTube and social media, when we look at weather disasters over the last 30 years, heat was the #1 weather killer. But you see what is next on the list, and it's something that we get often here in Ohio, and it is flooding. So we need to be aware of flooding and also lightning, winter storms. Here in Ohio, we can get it all. Are you weather ready? You want to make sure you have at least 2 ways to get weather alerts, whether it be a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. Do you have multiple methods to get those alerts to you? Also, do you have a plan in place? Because you want to make a plan. Identify where that safe place is, either in your home or in your place of work. Communicate that plan with your family, and you want to make sure you have emergency items either in that safe place or near that safe place, whether it be flashlights, non-perishable foods, or a blanket to have at hand when that weather warning is issued. All right, I just shut off the news vehicle. The temperature in here is currently a pleasant 78 degrees. Outside, it's about 86. We have full sunshine. I'm parked in the full sun, and we'll see how fast the temperature warms inside. In just a matter of 13 minutes parked in the direct sun, our news vehicle temperature went from a pleasant 78 degrees to now reading around 105. And as you can see, I am certainly sweating. I left the thermometer sitting in our parked vehicle for another hour, and you can see our temperature on our thermometer only goes to 120. And you can see that needle is peaking over 120 degrees. Going back to 1942, this is currently the 3rd warmest winter on record across west central Ohio, and nature is starting to wake up as spring bulbs and buds start to emerge on the trees. The question is, should gardeners be concerned? We went to the experts who say those plants may be more tolerant than we think.
Most of the spring flowering bulbs are programmed and have a ability to withstand a lot of that. You might get some burn off on the tips of the leaves, but the flowers themselves generally are not impacted.
The National Phenology Network Spring Leaf Anomaly shows vegetation starting to emerge up to 3 weeks ahead of normal across the southern states, now as far north as Kentucky. If this early pace continues, Staley says our fruit crops could be most susceptible to damage down the road.
Peaches and cherries are particularly susceptible. It's if those flowers and flower buds come and get frozen by a late freeze that sometimes we lose some of those fruiting crops.
As you start looking around your landscape, you may notice winter burn and in some cases complete leaf drop on evergreens and boxwoods. This was all caused by our December flash freeze as moisture in the leaves rapidly froze and damaged the leaf tissue. Staley says we'll just have to wait to see what damage was done.
Wait until closer to our last frost date in mid-spring to see what kind of new growth you have coming back.
I'm Nathan Kitchens reporting for your News Now.
Thank you, Nathan. The much anticipated solar eclipse about a year away, and our own Nathan Kitchens checks out why Lima will be a hot spot for tourists.
The year 1806 was the last time a total solar eclipse passed through Ohio. While solar eclipses themselves aren't rare, they only cover a tiny portion of Earth at a time. This means that total solar eclipses only happen roughly once every 400 years in any one spot on Earth. This is why everyone should be excited for April 8, 2024. Lima will be one of the top places in the whole country to experience it.
The website astronomy.com named Lima one of the 2 best places in the state of Ohio to view the eclipse, the other being Cleveland. But we were ranked number 13 and Cleveland number 14. So out of the whole United States, that says a lot. So we expect a lot of people to be flocking to our area.
Given the rarity of this event, it's hard to know exactly how many tourists will be in Lima.
One of the biggest events that we have that could be somewhat relevant in terms of size is the event we have every Labor Day at the Allen County Fairgrounds, which is Max's Trader Days. We usually, over the period of 3 days, get around 30,000+ people. I don't know what we're expecting in Lima. It could be more than that. I think it very possibly would be.
Obviously, a crucial factor is that we have good weather on that date, a day like today with blue skies and sunshine. While we can't predict the weather that far in advance, we can look back at history, which tells us we have cloud coverage about 50 to just under 60% of the time on that date. Visit Greater Lima says viewing areas are still in planning stages, with several local organizations participating. For those out-of-towners, the best advice is to book a place to stay as soon as possible, as local hotels are already receiving bookings. With the event on a Monday, that means more economic impact for Allen County, as many will take an extended weekend. Reporting in Lima, I'm Nathan Kitchens for your News Now.
Thank you, Nathan.
Residents of Salina will never forget Memorial Day of 2019. On that night, a fierce EF3 twister with winds of 150 miles per hour completely destroyed 43 homes and damaged over 100 of homes in Salina. The tornado was just one of nearly 24 that struck the state, with a rare EF4 striking just outside of Dayton. For the Mercer County EMA director, it's his job to prepare for weather disasters.
Preparations are ongoing. That's what our job mostly is. We do plans. We speak to the public when we can, how to prepare themselves at home, how to have a plan, for severe weather, whether it be a tornado, a storm, a snowstorm, a blizzard, anything like that, flooding. Have that plan both at work, at home, at school.
Those plans were put into action on the night of May 27th. One life was lost in Salina when a vehicle was lofted in the air and thrown into a home. The EMA worked with area fire departments and EMS to comb through the wreckage left behind.
By daylight, everything had been searched at least twice, all the damaged buildings. But then, of course, the Ohio EMA is asking us for damage assessment right away. So as soon as daybreak got, we were out there doing damage assessment, got that into the state, and actually got a federal declaration for that, which brings FEMA in, which is a lot of work too, but they come with a large checkbook, and they do help individuals and families.
For Robbins, Salina is home, and the damage was extensive throughout his hometown.
We actually at least moderately damaged 100 homes. And I was born and raised here, so I am talking to, people that I know very well. Are the head nurse at our local emergency department at Mercer Health. Her home was destroyed, So when I go around and do that damage assessment, sometimes it makes it hard. But still, you have to let those people tell you those stories too.
While tornadoes grab all the attention, it is important to be ready for any weather disaster, and Robbins has seen it all throughout his tenure.
That is probably the most catastrophic and very looking, but we've had some very heavy flooding. 2003, we had a lot of flooding here, and that impacted well over 100 homes at that time. Now, those homes usually weren't destroyed, but they did do a lot of damage. And, we've had the ice storm that did a lot of public damage to electric power wires, a lot of roof damage and damage to homes, and a lot of wrecks. That was 2005, I believe. So, we have had several presidential declarations, and they all impact different people,